Hi everybody, welcome back. Welcome to CM42 TV. A bit of a chilled video today, not like the usual, oh my god, over the top reactions we always do on here. We love it. We love the over the top, over exaggerating reactions, of course we do. I was sitting here, I was putting together a wee list of potential films and movies and TV shows and that sort of thing to watch this December. I love Christmas time. I've talked about it ad nauseum here on CM42 TV and the Good Bit podcast. I think it's been 2 or 3 years now we've done like Christmas specials on the podcast and stuff, and that's been great fun. I love doing anything Christmas, but if it's a Christmas special then it's extra special. So I was sitting here, I was making a list, an actual list. I was doing the old school thing and writing it down, and thinking about the films that I've already seen before, the Christmas films I've already seen before that I love and I want to watch again. And then also thinking about films that I have not seen, that I still want to see and that I have missed over the years, that are potentially new ones coming out that I'm yet to see. So I thought I'd turn the camera on, I'll talk you through my plan of the 25 Christmas movies I'm going to watch this Christmas season, or planning to watch anyway. I'd like to try and get them all in, but you know, sometimes life, I have a busy month, I must say. I do have a lot of stuff going on in December, which is great. I love being busy, but it just means less time for films and less time for videos and all things. But that's a story for another day. Let me know in the comment section if I've missed any of these. But I'd also love to know if you guys would be up for, or anybody out there, wherever you are around the world or whoever you are, would join me in these, watching, extravaganzas. If you'd be up for, watching the same films, we could kind of talk about them and stuff. I might end up doing some form of vlog style, progress over the month. I don't know. I'd like to do that, but plans change. I end up saying I want to do something and never sticking to it. I would love to keep a diary, of all the films I'm watching and have a wee quick review or thoughts on this time round. Because, these Christmas films that we watch, my favourite ones, you watch every year, you kind of have the same opinion, you hold them in such high regard and high standard because they're Christmas films and you want to watch them yearly. But, as you get older, especially in my case anyway, as you get older, your opinion on films change and the way you look at films change. And that can always affect films that you loved before, films that you didn't like before. All these opinions can change as you grow older. I say older, I'm fucking 22, but you know what I mean. In terms of the movies, I've got 15 classic Christmas movies that I try to catch every single year. And these have obviously been built up over the years. So like last year, I had never seen Love Actually. I watched it for the first time last year. Fell in love with it. Why would you not? Because it's such a great film and everybody knows that. And I was like, why on earth have I not watched this before? And now it's on the list. Now it's on the fucking, permanent to-watch list for every Christmas down the line. So it's on there. Love Actually is one. Another one that I watched for the first time last year was The Christmas Chronicles, which I believe just came out last year. It was a Netflix one with Kurt Russell, I believe, and I just loved it. It was like so close to being on my top 10 films of the year. I'm not even joking. Like last year was a big list. Because 2018 was such a big year for films, but like 2019 has blown that out the water. It's going to be so fucking difficult to make this top 10 of films for 2019, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. The Christmas Chronicles last year I loved so much, was nearly on that top 10 along with Solo and Lady Bird and all those great films from last year. It was so close to being on there. So Infinity War, Avengers, and then The Christmas Chronicles. So I'd highly recommend it. I don't know, I didn't speak to many people who had seen The Christmas Chronicles, the new Christmas film that came out last year, so I can't recommend it enough. It was very Christmassy and fun and loving and just an all-round great new generation Christmas film. So check that one out. That's on the list too. Another one that I was recent is Daddy's Home 2. I saw Daddy's Home right before New Year in 2015 into 16. I know that because in 2015 I did my whole, every single day doing a vlog. I did it in 2018 as well, but because of those things, the videos and the days kind of run together and you kind of remember certain things. And it was like the 27th of December of 2015, I did a vlog outside the cinema, I believe on George Square, with me and my mate Fraser. And we talked about and we reviewed the first Daddy's Home. And I always wanted to see the second one, obviously, because if you see the first one, you want to see the sequel. I missed it in the cinema, which I was gutted about because I really enjoyed the first one. And the second one that I watched, I think last year, was just the most hilarious, beautiful family film of ones that I've seen in years. Like, I was so overjoyed with this film. I was like, my god, that is perfect. It's a perfect sequel. It's better than the original. It's funnier than the original. And John Cena is in the second one. Because at the end of Daddy's Home 1, spoiler, this big muscly guy pulls up on a motorbike, and I was thinking, okay, it's going to be fucking Arnie, you know what I mean, Schwarzenegger. Turns out that it's fucking Cena, and I'm marked out in the cinema. Ask Fraser, he'll tell you. So knowing that he was going to be in the second one, I had to make sure I checked it out, and I just loved it. He's great, Cena's great, hilarious, and just the fact that he's Cena, you know, and Blockers, he was great. That film with Amy Schumer, he was great as well. I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, oh, so funny, and because he's Cena, it makes it funnier. So Daddy's Home 2 with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg and the older guy, what's his name? He's a great actor. He was in Dexter, season 3 of Dexter. You know who I mean. Amazing actor. He's hilarious in it as well. He's like Will Ferrell's dad. So good. So good. And it's definitely going to be a rewatcher for sure this year and every other year. And I think that's it in terms of first watchers last year. The rest of these ones that I have on the watching again list are classics and some of my favourite films of all time. Die Hard, which yes, is a Christmas film. Jingle All the Way, which I believe is the one with Arnie. Fred Claus with Vince Vaughn, great film. Miracle on 34th Street. I tend to watch the more recent one, which I think is with Richard Attenborough. I believe came out in the 90s. I love that one, it's great. The Grinch, absolute classic, Jim Carrey. But it's one of those ones that I loved when I was younger. But as I've gotten older, it's just kind of fallen away. I've not, you know, made it a priority. I've always watched it, but it's just kind of been on. Should really try and get it back to being a priority. It's a great film. It's a Wonderful Life with Jon Stewart. The first time I watched that was in 2016, 26 or 2015, one of those two. Recently anyway, a few years ago. And I remember thinking, what is the big deal with this film? What is the fuss of It's a Wonderful Life? Everybody telling you it's the greatest Christmas film ever. It's one of the best films ever made. And I remember speaking to my college lecturer, who's a big film guy, an actor called Gregor Duncan. Shout out to Gregor, who's definitely watching this. We were talking about It's a Wonderful Life because we were about to do a podcast together. He had a podcast called The Rap Chat, and I was a special guest on the Christmas special in 2016. I think, or 17, or 15. They all ran together. And we were talking about It's a Wonderful Life, and I remember saying how I thought it was a bit slow, and it was a bit kind of like, I didn't get the hype. And it just about went through me. He just couldn't believe my review and my analysis on one of the greatest films ever. So when you watch it again with these things in your mind, you know, you're starting to look for extra things, and you're like, my God, this film is great. And you love it. You fall in love with films because of other reasons. People's influence is such a big factor these days, and I'm really bad for it. It's good and bad in ways because I can see the good and bad things, and I can definitely see the bad and good. However, it's definitely weighed out with the positives, you know. I'm much more of a positive person than, you know, actively looking for the negatives. I'm never doing that, so. It's a Wonderful Life is now a mainstay. The Santa Claus with Tim Allen. Oh my God, I love that film, and I love the whole trilogy, the sequel particularly. The third one wasn't that great, but I loved the first one almost more than anything. It's one of my top 5 favourite Christmas films of all time, the first one, so it's great. And speaking of top 5s, these other ones here will make up the top 5. We'll make it to 6, but we'll see how we go. Planes, Trains and Automobiles. I know it is not a Christmas film, it is a Thanksgiving film, but it is a holiday film, and I think it still counts. You know, it's all about Steve Martin wanting to get home for the holidays to see his family, and John Candy just wants someone to spend the holidays with. That screams Christmas to me. That screams holidays and love and family. It's always a December film for me. And it's one of my, not just Christmas films or holiday films, one of my favourite movies ever. So can't wait to watch it again. I showed my sister it for the first time last year and she loved it too. The Polar Express. What can you say about The Polar Express apart from it being the best? Home Alone and Home Alone 2. Again, two of my favourite films of all time. I'd probably say they're always joint. I can never pick a favourite. But if I was to pick a favourite, I'd probably go with Home Alone 2, the sequel. No, I can't say that. I love the first one too much. The first one, I guess, is a better film. But the second one, I guess, means more because I've been to New York and I love all things New York. And when I went to New York, it was just such a buzz, like, because I was like, oh my God, this is where the new, Home Alone 2 stuff happened. And I always had Home Alone 2 more when I was younger, but I guess as I've gotten older, I've seen the beauty in the first one. They're both linked because they're both perfect and it's the same cast and it's the same story, but done differently. They're just brilliant. They would be in my top 5 favourite movies ever. And speaking of that, top 5, top 10 favourite movies ever, Elf with Will Ferrell, the Jon Favreau film, the best. So those are the 15 that I'll be rewatching. Special shout out to The Snowman. I love The Snowman, but it's only like on for 20 minutes or something, so I never count it. I can be watched in, you know, the same day as another film. Now these 10 films are ones that I've never seen before that I want to watch. Jack Frost, a classic. I've watched it when I was younger, obviously, but it's just I don't know. I've not watched it in years, so I don't count it. My opinions on films and my life in films have totally changed since I was a wee boy. So I'm going to definitely rewatch Jack Frost and get to it soon. Get Santa, I think it's a new one. I think it came out in 2014. It's on Netflix. Never seen it before. Night Before Christmas, but night spelled with a K, as in like a knight in shining armour. Brand new, came out this year. It's on Netflix and it's starring Vanessa Hudgens, who I have a very big soft spot for. Rise of the Guardians, which is the animated one that my sister keeps telling me to watch that I've never seen before. Deck the Halls, another one that has always kind of been on. I might have seen it when I was younger, but can't remember it enough to say that it's one of my favourites, so I'll check it out this year. The Holiday, my friend Sophie, one of my best friends in the world, Sophie, who was on the podcast and has been on the Christmas podcast the last 2 years, has specifically told me that you love The Holiday, and I was planning to watch it last year. It was actually on my screen ready to press play, and I never got to it. I think I watched Love Actually instead, so The Holiday will be one this year. Arthur Christmas, the animated one again, probably seen it when I was younger, but not anytime recently, so I'll definitely check that one out. The Nightmare Before Christmas. Is it a Halloween film? Is it a Christmas film? It's that somewhere in the middle. It's got Christmas in the fucking title. I'll count it as a Christmas one. And 2 other brand new ones. Klaus, with a K, Klaus, which is on Netflix. I'll check that one out as well this year. And Black Christmas, which is just about to be released in cinemas. So that's cool. I've already seen Frozen 2. I saw Frozen 2 Full DX and Last Christmas with Emilia Clarke. But I'm planning to talk about them on this year's Christmas podcast. Spoiler, spoiler. So there you go. Those are the 25 films, 26 if you count The Snowman, that I'd love to watch this Christmas time. So we'll run through them again. Jack Frost, Get Santa, Night Before Christmas, Night with a K, Rise of the Guardians, Deck the Halls, The Holiday, Arthur Christmas, Nightmare Before Christmas, Klaus, Black Christmas, Die Hard, The Snowman, Planes, Trains and Automobiles, Jingle All the Way, Fred Claus, Miracle on 34th Street, The Grinch, The Santa Claus, It's a Wonderful Life, Daddy's Home 2, Christmas Chronicles, Love Actually, Elf, The Polar Express, and Home Alone 1 and 2. That is 25 or 26 Christmas films that I am going to try and watch between now and the big day on the 25th. And of course, I'd recommend checking out Last Christmas and Frozen 2. I saw Frozen 2 Full DX. Best Full DX experience of my life so far, without question. It was amazing. So there we go. I love Christmas time. I love the Christmas films. I love the TV specials. I love the songs. I love the adverts. I love the build-up. I can't wait for it. It's my favourite time of the year, between that and summertime, you know. So, yes, thank you very much. Hopefully you're going to join me on some form of journey. It doesn't need to be these, you know, particular films, but let me know on your plans for watching films this Christmas. What's your, you know, family traditions and that sort of thing. And look out for the Christmas podcast coming up very soon in December. Fingers crossed. It'll be the good bit. It'll be one of the late 50s or maybe even be episode 60. This year's Christmas special. I'm looking forward to that too. So yes, thank you very much for checking this video out. Until next time, folks, apologies for no reaction in a high energy video, but this is important business. We've got to talk films, got to talk movies sometimes, and when it comes to Christmas, it is extra special. Thanks for watching. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at CM42TV, where I'll be tweeting and posting about these films an awful lot next month, so I would greatly appreciate it if you can check me out on there in the Christmas season. So thanks very much for checking this video out. I'll see you all in the next video. Cheers.